Okay, so now subtopic number 3, screening for depression, weight loss, and malnutrition. So depression in older adults does not present the typical way. So it's not as marked as the mood and as in younger people. So what they may be apathetic, they maybe have some weight loss, they may have some cognitive impairment, and you know, it can affect their functional status. You know, they can be at increased risk for mortality. So you want to catch depression early. They use as prevention task force, however, recommends only screening if you have well-staffed assisted depression care support. So basically, if you are going to screen the depression and find that they have depression and not be able to offer any care for it, then you shouldn't screen. So make sure you have they'll have access to the resources. So one of the tools that you can use for screening for depression is the patient health questionnaire, the 2-question format, which I like this because then, you know, if you ask the 2 questions and they are pretty much on the not at all or just several days spectrum, then you're done. And if they answer yes, and you go into a more detailed questionnaire. So the 2 questions are, over the past 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by any of the following problems? Number 1 is little interest or pleasure in doing things, and then number 2 is feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. And then the scoring goes from 0 to, which is not at all, 1 for several days, and 2 for more than half the days, and 3 points for nearly every day. So then if the score is more than 3, then you want to do the more detailed patient health questionnaire, the 9-question version, which has those first top 2, and then trouble sleeping, falling asleep, feeling tired, poor appetite, feeling bad, having trouble concentrating, moving or speaking slowly, thoughts that you would be better off dead. And again, it goes from 0 to 3. As far as screening for weight loss and malnutrition, if you're thinking for all the adults, you know, the normal range is a little bit more generous for the BMI, so it's between 23 and 30 kgs per meter square. And typically, you know, older adults are fairly frail. Among those receiving home health, 12% will be malnourished and 51% at risk of malnourishment. And if you're undernourished, then you have a higher need for healthcare services and higher mortality. So one of the tools that you can use is the mini nutritional assessment, and ask, you know, if they decline their food intake, have they lost weight, are they, how has that affected that mobility, are they stressed, do they have psychological stress or problems, and then do they have BMI? And sometimes with our very frail people, you know, you may not be able to weigh them. So another way is to measure the circumference of the calf to get an idea of what it is now. So you want to monitor the weight, and that's, you know, done pretty routinely in most visits. You want to ask, have you lost weight in the past 6 months? And you want to do a more in detail evaluation if they've lost more than 5% of their body weight, unintentionally, of course, in the last 6 months. And a recommendation from the American Geriatric Society on their Choosing Wisely, they said don't use appetite stimulants or high-calorie supplement, mostly because they don't really help, or if they do increase the weight, is, you know, more that weight that's not good weight, but like fat weight. Something to start is by looking at the medications that may be contributing to weight loss or that diminish the appetite. I'd like to put people on their diet of the what are you feeling like eating diet. So, provide a appealing food, make sure they have social support, and provide feeding assistance is needed.